This is not the first time that she has got in a row to do with her houses and where her primary residence is, because before the general election...
Keir Starmer loses his cool live after Angela Rayner reveals shocking UK debt figures. You're not going to believe what just happened. Keir Starmer, the man who's been trying to project calm, control, and confidence, was caught off guard live on air. And the trigger? Not a Tory attack. Not a journalist's question. But his own deputy, Angela Rayner. Yes, right there in front of the cameras. Rayner pulled out records detailing the UK's staggering debt levels. The numbers weren't just big, they were devastating. And Starmer's reaction? Pure frustration. He stumbled, he snapped, he tried to change the subject, but the damage was already done. This is the kind of moment that makes people stop scrolling, rewind, and say, wait, did that really just happen? So, let's break it down. The Labour leadership has been working overtime to convince the public they're the steady hands the UK needs in the middle of a global storm. They've promised stability, careful management, and above all, honesty. But honesty cuts both ways. Angela Rayner, whether by accident or strategy, laid bare the uncomfortable truth. Britain's debt levels are ballooning. The cost of servicing that debt, paying the interest alone, is eating into the government's ability to fund public services. Now, on the surface, this shouldn't shock anyone. Economists have been warning about it for years. But the way it played out live on national television, no less, was political dynamite. Starmer tried to pivot. He spoke about global pressures, about how every economy is struggling post-pandemic, about energy shocks and wars abroad. And yes, he's not wrong. But viewers weren't listening to the excuses. They were staring at the raw tension between leader and deputy. One political analyst on Sky News put it bluntly. Starmer looked rattled, Rayner looked unafraid. That's the real headline. And the public? Oh, they had plenty to say. Comments flooded X, formerly Twitter. One user wrote, "If this is Labour's idea of transparency, I like it. But wow, Starmer clearly didn't." Another said, "Debt is rising everywhere. Why act shocked? What matters is what Labour plans to do about it." But not everyone saw it that way. Some called it a betrayal. Your own deputy airing dirty laundry on live TV? That's division, not leadership. Behind closed doors, insiders are whispering. Was this a slip-up, or was it intentional? Because here's the thing, Angela Rayner has long carved out her brand as the straight talker. She appeals to the grassroots. She speaks plainly, sometimes bluntly, and people love her for it. But that same style, when it collides with Starmer's careful image, creates sparks. And those sparks were visible to millions of viewers. The UK's national debt now sits at levels not seen since the aftermath of World War II. The interest payments alone are soaring billions every month. That means less money for hospitals, schools, and infrastructure. For ordinary families already feeling squeezed by rising prices, this isn't abstract. It's personal. It's why your council tax bill went up. It's why NHS waiting times feel endless. It's why rail fares, energy costs, and basic groceries keep pushing higher. So when Rayner spoke those numbers out loud, she wasn't just making a political point. She was voicing what millions of people already feel in their bones. The fallout? Well, Starmer can try to downplay it, but the clip is already circulating everywhere. It's being shared on TikTok, on Facebook, clipped by rival parties, replayed by late-night talk shows. One Conservative MP wasted no time, tweeting, "If even Labour's deputy can't trust Starmer on the debt, why should the country?" Meanwhile, journalists are asking whether this was a sign of deeper cracks within Labour's top team. Are they truly united, or is Rayner positioning herself for the long game, keeping her authenticity while Starmer takes the heat? Here's what makes this explosive. We're not just talking about numbers on a spreadsheet. We're talking about political credibility. The Labour leadership promised they'd be upfront, steady, transparent. But when transparency came knocking, Starmer looked like he wanted to slam the door shut. And that, more than the debt itself, is what's resonating tonight. So where does this leave things? Starmer will likely regroup, issue a polished statement, and try to move on. Rayner, for her part, will insist she was simply being honest with the public. And maybe she was. But the question remains. If this is how Labour's top team handles tough truths now, what happens when they're in Downing Street facing even tougher ones? What happens next may be the real scandal. Because the numbers aren't going away. The debt isn't going away. And the cracks inside Labour, well, they just got a whole lot harder to ignore.